to do an eyebrow. You can first you're gonna need your eyebrow pomade, and the one that I use is the Elf in the color Espresso. You could get this at Walmart for like $5, but you can use any eyebrow pomade. I also have the NYX Tame and Frame or the Salon Perfect. So you can use any eyebrow pomade that you want, and just make sure you get it your eyebrows. In order to begin, you can either use a spoolie and an angled brush, or you can get a spoolie that already has an angled brush on the bottom. So that's for the brows. And then to clean up your brows, you can either use a flat square brush or a concealer brush. It really just depends on you. I use any kind of flat brush in order to clean it up. So let's get started. What I'm going to be using for my brows is I'm going to be using the angled brush and the spoolie. I like them separate. I don't recommend these, but it's just up to you on what you feel is easier. And then I'm going to get my pomade, and then I usually always use this one. So these are what I'm going to be using for my brows. So let's get on. Okay, what you're gonna get now is a spoolie, and you're gonna brush upwards. You're just gonna brush all your hairs upward. And excuse my brows, they need to be plucked. But you just brush up. I'm just demonstrating in a slower pace. You just go along as the shape is. I just like to curve it at the end. I'm just letting y'all know that my eyebrows really need to be plucked. But now I'm going to get the pomade. And when you're getting the pomade, I always get my brush, clean it, my angled brush. I like to pinch on all my brushes, so I'm pinching it. And then I'm going to be dipping. The strategy is to dip, wipe, and apply. So I like to dip my brush into the pomade, and around the rim, I like to drag the brush and clean off the excess. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to apply it. So what I like to do is I like to start from the beginning. Go a little bit ahead of where your hairs are. Go a little bit more further where there's no hair. I kind of started a little too, like right there. Just a little bit ahead of your eyebrow hair. And you're just going to follow this shape. All of us have a different eyebrow shape. So you're just going to follow the shape of where the hair's in. So you just follow it. And when you get to the tip, make sure you make it a little longer than your eyebrow. So throughout this, you just keep applying as much product as you need. Most of us have darker eyebrows or like their eyebrows darker. I usually do, but in this video, I wanted to make it as simple as I can for you guys. So I'm just going to reapply. And when you're doing this line, instead of making like pushing the brush like with a lot of pressure, you're gonna do it slightly and always line it up to where I have the brush. Always line it from the tip, the end of your eye to the eyebrow. So you can always use a brush to measure it the way I did. And always clean the excess off your brush and apply more, because you don't want your brush to be too clumpy. So like I said, you just keep applying as much product as you need for however dark you want it. And so now we're going to be starting from the top. I like to start from where the arch is, right there, and bring it down. And all you're doing is you're bringing it down and connecting to the bottom. It's that simple. You just connect. And if you like your eyebrows a little bit more pointy, you can always do that, or you can do it like that and just clean it up whenever you're applying the concealer. So whatever product is left on the brush, you're just going to try and brush the part that does not have pomade, which is where I was. But now I'm going to be applying more product and doing it from the beginning. The top part where I'm applying right now, you do not need that part too dark, and you do not need to go all the way to the front. See how I have like that gap in the front? You can apply a line, but it needs to be very, very light. The bottom line is darker than the top line. So you always want to fill the end part of your eyebrow right there. You always want that part to be darker than the beginning part of the brow. So right here, you're gonna always, when you're filling in your brow, you're gonna always have to keep reapplying more, getting more product and more product to however dark you want your brows. But you do not want patches to be shown in your brows. But always make the end part, like from the middle to the end, always make it darker than the beginning part of your eyebrow. So you're just gonna be brushing in strokes very lightly. So you don't want to be pushing out too much on the brow. Most people like to use the brow gel, which is like a spoolie, but it's like, it looks like a mascara, but it's for the eyebrows. I don't use that because, well, that is just like a, I would say like a hairspray for your eyebrows. It like leaves it intact, and I think they have color. So you're just brushing at an angle. You see how I'm not brushing straight, I'm brushing like at an angle. And then you're not going all the way to the front, because right there where I have space, you're gonna go straight down but very little strokes. When you're filling in the front right there where I'm circling, you do not need to reapply. Like, you don't have to get more product, you just use whatever's on the brush. So whatever's on the brush, you're just gonna brush up and down, or down top to bottom, like that. I didn't know how to say it. Top to bottom, just like that, little strokes. You're just adding little hairs, but you don't want to make that too dark. Then you just brush, brush, brush at an angle, and yeah. Right here, I'm grabbing my spoolie, and all you're gonna be doing is brushing it, um, like that. I don't know how to say that, but you're gonna brush it that way. All you need is the tip of the spoolie. You don't need to put the whole brush on your brow, because then, yeah. I mean, once you get used to doing your brows, you can do however you want, or do however tricks that you know. But you just want to use the tip of that spoolie. You're just fading out those little hairs that you made. You're just fading it out. Then you could slightly brush the whole eyebrow up. Not too much, because then you're going to take off the whole product. Next, what we're going to do is get our concealer. I use the Maybelline concealer, and it's just like my foundation. I use the Maybelline foundation too. So you're just gonna get the brush of that concealer, get your flat brush, pinch it. I always have the habit of pinching my flat brushes, getting a little bit of product, and then start from the beginning of your brow. Do not go on top of the line. You always want to go under the line, because you're trying to clean up the brow. So you're just gonna go, follow the whole track. The whole track, is that, I don't know, follow the whole brow. Do not go over the brow. You're just gonna follow it. You're just trying to, the main purpose is you're cleaning your brows. If you mess up, which I do, and later in the video I mess up, it's not that you mess up, it's just, concealer gets on the brow. All you have to do is go back, get your angled brush. Do not add new product, just whatever product is left on the brush, you can reapply it to the spot that you applied concealer and messed up. It's very simple. All you have to do is just drag it down to your eyelid. If you do eyeshadow, you conceal your eyelid, or you use your primer so it fades off whenever you brush it. Up here, you're going to get a little bit more product, and you're just going to go a little bit ahead of the brow. Brush on the top of the line. Do not touch the line, but brush above it. I do mess up right here, and I do go back and I reapply product. So you're just going to follow it, follow it. And when you get to the tip, try not to go over the black part, well, the eyebrow. Try, your main goal is to try and connect the concealer that's on the bottom to make it pointy, just like that. See, I messed up right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back with my angled brush and fill in that spot that I messed up on. So I usually go really fast, but since I'm trying to demonstrate to you guys like how to do it, I was going really slow, getting really nervous. So I mean, mistakes happen. Now what I'm going to be using is a fat concealer. It's called a flawless concealer brush, and you can also get this at Walmart, and this is what brushes the concealer away. So that's what I do. Most people like to use their finger or their beauty blender or a different kind of brush, but I like to use the concealer brush to brush off the concealer. So you got to be careful with this too. You don't want to brush on the eyebrow. If you do, it's just going to look, your eyebrow's going to look like white. And all you're doing is just fading away the concealer, and that's it. It is very simple. And thank you for watching this tutorial. I will be having more tutorials coming up, but yeah.